I'm Ashley Dvorkin with Fox411.com movie reviewer Justin Craig. Get ready to get back on board the Enterprise with J.J. Abrams at the helm as Star Trek Into Darkness makes its highly anticipated debut in 2D, 3D, and IMAX. Justin, your thoughts?
Well, like I said in my review, J.J. Abrams outdoes himself here, not only with the previous Star Trek film, but of all his films combined. I think this is his best film as a director. He really packs in the action and the suspense and combines it with this natural looking special effects and use of models and stuff. So it's darker than the original. Let me say that. I mean, it's in the title of the movie. They do go into darker territory. Benedict Cumberbatch actually plays a rogue Starfleet member who has this vendetta against the chain of command, and so he sets off these terrorist attacks, and then Kirk and Spock and the rest of the crew of the Enterprise have to go on this manhunt and stop him and bring him to justice. So it actually makes it a darker tone for the film, but it's still a lot of fun. I mean, the crew is great. They're so much humor in it, especially from Scotty. Simon Pegg plays Scotty, and he is so funny. But it's a great story, and overall, J.J. Abrams did such a good job on this one.
Yeah, and now where does it stand, in your opinion, in the whole franchise? Like, where does this fall in the franchise history? Where does it take things from here?
Well, let me say that there are a lot of things in this movie that fans of the original Star Trek films and TV show will either absolutely love or absolutely hate. It depends on the Star Trek fan, because there are a lot of references to previous things, and they are different. They are things that are completely changed around from how people have known them and loved them before. So it might cause some controversy in the Star Trek fandom world.
Yeah.
But as compared to the other films, I mean, this J.J. Abrams franchise is completely different than the William Shatner franchise or the one with Picard and those guys. So this is fits very much with our times and the action movies made today compared to how they were in the late 70s, 80s, and even 90s.
And now action and 3D and special effects. Is this one of those films where you're like, it was made to be seen in 3D? Like, do you feel that if people want the full experience, it should be that 3D IMAX, or are the special effects secondary?
Special effects are awesome in this movie. So are the costumes, and so is the music. But 3D, I mean, to each their own. I do not like 3D. I think it's a gimmick. It doesn't really do anything for me. But the movie was shot for IMAX. So if you do get a chance, see it on IMAX. And by seeing it on IMAX, I think you have to see it in 3D. Sure. But it looks fantastic on IMAX.
That's what I always wonder, because that's the director's vision sometimes when they're filming it and they picture it in 3D or IMAX. So good to know. And do you feel that this crew has now been embraced? This crew, these actors, by the loyal fans?
I think so, for the most part. I'm sure there are fans who are just so upset with what J.J. Abrams has done to this franchise. But for the most part, everybody seems to like it. And let me say that Zachary Quinto is fantastic as Spock. Okay. I mean, if there was any other actor to take over from Leonard Nimoy, he is it, and he does such a great job.
Okay, Karl Urban.
Yes.
Karl Urban, tell me about his role in the film.
Karl Urban plays McCoy, or Bones is his nickname. He's the doctor. He has a smaller part in this film than he does in the first film, but he's still there and he's still very funny.
This is why I brought this up, because Karl Urban also stars in J.J. Abrams' upcoming futuristic action drama, Almost Human, on Fox, about humans and androids working together as police partners. We caught up with Urban recently, and he was up for answering that ultimate fan franchise question: Star Trek or Star Wars?
My first point of connection to the whole genre was Star Wars, I have to admit. Then I later latched onto Star Trek, and I loved it. I mean, I love them both. And, Star Wars couldn't be in better hands with JJ at the helm. He's going to knock it out of the park.
Good answer, considering he's in one of them. Okay, let's 411 moviegoer shout out the reasons you may add this Star Trek to your moviegoing list.
First, there's a lot of material for Star Trek fans. Like I said, there's so many references to previous things that have happened, and they are different. They have changed, so it might be a love-hate situation here.
Okay, and as we discussed, it's shot in IMAX, so go ahead and see it big.
See it big. See it big.
All right, and
there's more fun in this film than the first film. It's a darker tone, like I said, but the action and adventure is so heightened and surpasses the first one.
Now, big films keep rolling out week to week. How do you feel this is going to do at the box office?
This will, I predict this will be Iron Man,
Okay.
but, you know, in a couple of weeks we'll have another movie. That's
And we'll
just
have
gonna,
another one. Exactly. That's what happens with summer blockbuster season, which has started very early this year. That's today's 411 on the big screen. For more on Star Trek and other films out this week, click around on fox411.com. We have lots of star interviews, movie previews, and as always, Justin's full reviews. Thanks for joining us.